Welcome to the Native Wildman channel for Tea Time Tuesday. And I hope you all enjoy the relaxing singing bowl. Forgot to show this last tea time. I finally got it put up. My sister made me that for Christmas. And that. I don't like to get my picture taken, which is kind of funny because I got a YouTube channel. Man, I don't know why people like Star Trek. That's just weird. Oh, wait, that's me. Alright, shout out board Gonzo, Bluminati Ninja, Radina's local taste better. Victoria May, the quiet listener. Man, this thing's bouncy today. Women carrying a therapeutic edge. Do something kind for somebody. Nelly B. Ellen's Planet Teas, Ellen's Oolong. That's where I get all my tea ingredients from. They do ship in the statewide, at least the lower 48 states. I can't count. Crossover Paranormal Society, A Therapeutic Edge, Hugamoo, The Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla, Catching Them Fish Outdoors, Danny Day's Homestead, Big Tiny's Outdoors, Grumpy Grunt, My Bad Adventures, Spirit Brothers UK, Big Red EDC, Catching Them Fish Outdoors, The Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla, Hugamoo, Hugamoo, Hugamoo. The Fly Smith, Any Fin is Possibles, Yolan's Edge, Gal Southern Living, Maddisfaction. Also check out the Squirrel King's Sunfish. Maddisfaction, the Squirrel King. Also check out Squirrel's Magnet Fish and the Sunfish King Off the Hook Outdoors. That's me, EDCQ. On the wild side, the left channel, Wild Japan, Hog Deer 79. ODC for EDC, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Chillin' Indiana Carl, the Sunfish King, Matt's Fishing Mission, Zach Stuff, Knives Fast, Angling Spiders, True Budget EDC, Some Old Man Outdoors, Lefty EDC, and Jill Bait and Tackle Outdoors. Alright, for today's tea, we're going to turn Cosmo into tea. Oh, wrong one. Cosmo! Okay, first we're going to do a scoop of Chunmei green tea. One scoop of green tea. Timber. Alright, now we are going to do peppermint and spearmint. First, we are going to do Spear of the Mint. One scoop of that. Amazingly, it stood up. Huh, cool beans. Scoop of pepper of the mint. Well, that didn't stand up. And then next we are going to do, this is a combination of rose petal and rose hip. We are going to do 2 scoops of that. Alright, let's put this down. Alright, we're going to grab the hot water. We're going to add the hot water. Alright. I burnt myself, What do I do? Run. Alright. I'll be safe. I'll just dump some burn relief cream on it. I didn't really burn myself, but if you do burn yourself, I do find that honey is a good addition to it. And you just kind of rub it like, we'll pretend that that's a scratch right there. You can't hardly see it. There. Okay, that's a scratch. Not really, but Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, it's a scratch. So what you do is you take honey, a little bit too much. Don't lick it before you put on. But, so you take honey and you just kind of put it on a scratch or a burn. Make sure you get it completely. Make sure you wash it off first too. Oh, why am I looking? But that's not really why I grabbed the honey. But yeah, you get a scratch or a shallow cut or have stitches or burn. I find that honey helps it heal pretty quickly. And since my throat's a little sore, I'm going to add just a touch of honey. You tell them a touch of honey at the bistros, they're like, and add half a jar in. Not quite, but they do add quite a bit in if you say a touch of honey. And again, I'm not going to get really much color or flavor. You are getting a wee bit of pink starting to show through for the from the rose hip, but not much. And so we'll let this steep for a while. And I would like to go over a fishing topic. What do you need for beginning fishermen? Well, I've covered it before a little bit, but like if you're just starting fishing or you're not very experienced, just go to Academy or Walmart, Cabela's, Bass Pro. Your local tackle store. And buy yourself inexpensive rod and reel combo. When you do, a lot of your combos come pre-spooled with fishing line. So that's right, yeah. So my suggestion, my tip, is if you do buy one with pre-spooled line, take that old line off. You don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelf for. Monofilament is what it has on it, and monofilament does get shelf rot, which compromises the strength of the line. And not all lines are made equally. I would replace it with like Strin Original or Trilene, Berkeley Trilene, or you can buy just Berkeley's kind of a weird one. You can buy like just plain Berkeley, or you can get Trilene. Guess it's not weird, but they use both names. But most times it's Trilene for the line, and that's a good monofilament, and Strin's a good monofilament. And you'll want to get yourself some terminal tackle like hooks, just not like this big of hook. Get like 1/0, 1/0 and a few smaller. 1/0's not very big hook either. I forget my hook sizes. I should know since I tie flies, but those are small hooks. I go all the way down to 16, so a size 8 or a size 6 is a pretty common, decent, just a straight shanked hook. Want to get some egg sinkers. You can pick those up for fairly cheap, and some snap swivels. And I would suggest, if you're new at it, just also pick up yourself some sort of float, slip bobber, or a spring type bobber like this. And going pretty shallow. And yeah, I do recommend a small one. Going fairly shallow. Putting little nightcrawler on it, red worms, grasshoppers, crickets, you know. You can go to the pet store and buy crickets. Feeder crickets, those would be good bait. And just kind of throw it out there. And most likely it'll be a bluegill or something that'll bite, but if you're just getting into fishing, there's nothing wrong with. I mean, I've been fishing for years, and sometimes I still purposefully go after bluegill because they are fun to catch, and it is catching something. And then even buying those combinations that come with artificial baits and hooks. They're not the best hooks in the world, and now I can have my chair. Oh, shoot. Break this one of these days. They're not the best hooks in the combo, in the hook world, but they will work. And I find that some of those little soft plastic, especially ones with the little curly tails, or the squid tail or tube jigs, they're tube jigs technically, but a lot of people will call them squid tail because they kind of have like a squid or octopus tail. That's a really good combination to get too, if you can, or when you're searching and you want to maybe get into a little bit of artificial. I would get one of the rod and reel starter kits that has the some of them have like, they're even the cheap plastic, you know, container that you can reuse, but it's not really the best just because it's what the bait comes in, and it's that real thin plastic. And sometimes they come with little small plastic actual tackle boxes, and most generally they're not too expensive, so I would recommend getting something like that if you're just starting out fishing. It is a fun sport, but you may be watching YouTube videos like, hey, I want to start fishing, and you've never fished before. You're like, hey, that looks fun. So, well, I say inexpensive setup. You might go out, you might catch a fish, and you're like, yeah, this is slimy, and don't want to fish anymore. So, don't be like me and get start off. Well, I didn't start off with $100 reel or rod, but don't be like me and go out and buy $100 rod because you see somebody like me using a $100 St. Croix fishing rod. You don't need it. You don't need it. Does it help? In my opinion, yes. If you're an experienced fisherman and you've been fishing for a long time, the extra sensitivity from the expensive rods is a good thing. But if you're just getting into it, you may not like it, or you may break a lot of equipment, or have a fish go, and that's a lot less painful than losing a $100 fishing reel in the Potawatomi State Lake number 2 with a $80 fishing rod. And I'm experienced, and I still have stuff getting pulled. Not often to say, but it can still happen to experienced people. So if you're inexperienced and you lose a $100, $150 setup, that's kind of a big blow, especially if you don't know if you're going to continue on fishing. So, or if you're just going to go fishing once or twice a year. Just cheap, inexpensive setups, good to try. Good to use. That's my tip for the day. Ooh, now we're going to go on to the tasting and the smelling of my tea. The part y'all's been waiting for. Wow, I can't really smell the green tea in here because the mint and the rose is actually, the mint and the rose is a really good odor combination. I know there's a different way to say it, but I'm not the smartest person in the world. But yeah, the smells of the mint and rose combine really well. I am picking up a little bit of the grassiness from the green tea. I'm definitely picking up the peppermint and the spearmint. And the spearmint's a little bit more chill, like the spearmint gum you can get. And the peppermint's kind of more like the peppermint candies, just not as sweet. And then I am kind of getting a hint of the rose in here. The rose seems to be kind of acting as like a, I'll use an analogy, like when you use salt for cooking, how the salt helps blend the flavors. That's kind of what the rose is doing in this specific blend of mine today. It's really good. I like it. And then the color is kind of like a light greenish brown with a hint of pink in it. And the rose hip and the well, mainly the rose hip is really high in vitamin C, and since it is mainly herbs, it's not going to hurt to steep a little longer. Peace and long life, my friends. Thank you everybody for joining. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed, and have a wonderful day.